It looks like one organization will be switching from Chevy to Fords in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2021. And the number placement discussion is back in the news once again as NASCAR is looking to permanently move the number placements for the 2021 after 2021 into the next gen era. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. We got quite a few NASCAR stories to discuss here today on the channel. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. The first story we're going to talk about is Kyle Larson's new spotter, as it was confirmed today by Chris Knight, Bob Pockrass, and Toby Christie that Tyler Mon, who was a Rick Ware Racing this past season, will be Kyle Larson's spotter in 2021, replacing Chris Monez for the 2021 season. Tyler Mon, for many of you that do not know, was a spotter at the 27 car for Rick Ware Racing. He also this past season spotted for Austin himself in the NASCAR Truck Series and spotted as well for SS Greenlight for David Starr and Joe Graff Jr. in 2020 as well. SS Greenlight also had a little bit of a partnership with Rick Ware Racing where they had Carson Ware, which I think is the nephew of Rick Ware, if I'm not mistaken, driving for that team as well. I don't know how good Tyler Mon is a spotter or not. Again, he spotted for a not great team. Rick Ware Racing is kind of a slow team. Well, they're actually a really slow team. They're kind of backmark team. So you really don't know how good of a spotter he truly is or not. But really, really cool opportunity for Tyler Mon. Let's just not go through his likes, please, and see what he liked on Twitter, because that's what got Chris Monez out of his job. Tyler Mon, hopefully can do really well with the team. Congratulations, Tyler Mon, on getting a huge opportunity with Hendrick Motorsports in 2021. On to the next story. Sethi Parsons will be returning to Busch Motorsports part-time in the 2021 season. He will drive the 99 car in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I believe it's a Chevy, if I'm not mistaken. And he will have Sokol Media Group for the 2021 season. His first start, to my knowledge, is going to be at Homestead Miami Speedway in 2021. I really wish Sethi Parsons was going full-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series because I think Sethi Parsons is a very, very talented driver. He's been able to make cars do better in general in the NASCAR Xfinity Series than they can be able to. He's been able to get top 15s and top 20s with Busch Motorsports equipment, which he really shouldn't be doing, which is really, really impressive if you ask me. I think it's a really cool opportunity for Sethi Parsons. I think ultimately his goal is to continue gaining experience, and hopefully he can maybe scout out some top 20s in 2020. If he get top 20s quite a bit this year in the select starts he has, I think it'd be really cool. It did not say how many races he is going to run, but he will run a part schedule in 2021. So really cool to hear the news on Sethi Parsons, and it's a great opportunity for him. And also news here that he will be running part-time for Busch Motorsports. I'm wondering who the other drivers are that are going to drive that 99 cars, because we know that Matt Mills is going to be driving for them full-time next year, and we know that Jesse Little is going to be driving full-time for them next year. I would assume they're probably going to do like a recurring lineup of a bunch of different drivers, but Sethi Parsons is the first official driver that will be driving for Busch Motorsports in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2021. On to the next story. Kurt Busch is going to be testing the next-gen car once again tomorrow on the Charlotte Oval to validate some adjustments that have been made to certain components. So they basically added some new components to the cars. Well, actually, they're going to be testing on the current components, but they've changed some of the components for the oval tracks. Because when they tested the oval tracks, Kurt Busch Martin Jr., they weren't as big of fans. They weren't open to saying they liked it as they liked the road course. The road course configuration of the next-gen cars, by the way, is really, really good. It's like a Trans Am car, so they really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, the secular, whatever it was, and I think that they really, really enjoyed that. Kurt Busch is going to be testing to validate it. It's just going to be a one-day test. Again, I don't know when these guys are supposed to get it. I think they're supposed to be getting it this upcoming month in February or March. They're also supposed to be getting their different manufacturer of the car, the Chevy, the Ford, and Toyota bodies of the cars. So that's really cool to know. But Kurt Busch will be testing and validating. We'll probably talk about that either tomorrow or Wednesday when we get into talking about what Kurt Busch's thoughts are on the next-gen car. Hopefully, it's more low downforce and high horsepower. Maybe it'll be 650 horsepower, and maybe they can up the horsepower, but they're trying to make it low horsepower because there's talks of manufacturers coming to sport, but you can't guarantee that they're going to be manufacturers coming to sport. But Kurt Busch will be testing the next-gen car tomorrow to validate some of those components tomorrow. And now we're going on the first of two major stories here today. RSS and Ryan Sieg Racing will move to Ford for the 2021 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. Here's what Ryan Sieg had to say about this. We are a small family-owned race team, so to have this opportunity to align ourselves with Roush Chase and Ford is truly incredible. I think that this is a very, very fantastic move for this team. This is a major, major big move for them because there are not that many Ford teams currently. In fact, there's only 2 Ford cars for 2021 that are going full-time. You have the 22 car that's be driven by Austin, who's returning after winning the championship, and you have Riley Hurst moving from Joe Gibbs Racing over to 9018. These will be the only other Ford that will be on the racetrack in 2021. I think that this will be a really good upgrade for this team. Overall, over the last couple years, especially for RSS Racing, this team has been getting better and better, including in 2020, where they were able to make it to the round of 8, had the most top 10s they ever had in a season, and most top 5s they ever had in a year. And their average finish was like 11th or 12th. So their average finish was really, really good this year as well. This team every year continues to get better, and I think overall that this is a fantastic move. Because I think RSS Racing is going to continue to improve every year, and maybe they'll have an opportunity winning races this year. I think they really could, especially with how they're going to be getting good Ford performance equipment, and they will be getting Roush Yates engines. So their Super Speedway program is going to be really, really good as well. They're usually good on Super Speedways because Ryan Sieg is really, really good on Super Speedways, but I think them having the Roush Yates engines to work with for the 2021 season, I think it's going to be really cool. So do I think that this team will improve in 2021? Yes. As a matter of fact, I think that them getting these 4 components, I think they could win 1 or even possibly up to 2 races in 2021. They could probably win a Super Speedway race working with Riley Herbst and Austin. At least the Fords will have another driver that they can work with in 2021, and then we'll be completely outnumbered. They're still going to be outnumbered, don't get me wrong, but they'll be able to get help on Super Speedways. But I do think the performance overall for them going into 2021 is going to be major improvements. A lot of people are really, really happy about this move, and I think that this is going to be a great move overall for the team. Very exciting news to hear. Ryan Sieg deserved a really good opportunity. I think that this is a fantastic opportunity as they will be switching from Chevys to Fords. The rumor has been that there was going to be an organization that was going to be switching from Chevy to Ford, kind of a mid-pack Xfinity Series team, was kind of a championship contender. People thought it was either going to be RSS Racing or it was going to be Colleague, and then we found out it was Ryan Sieg Racing because Colleague Racing, they were basically running Chevys for Daytona 500 for the Cup Series, and everyone Chevys once again and working on RCR once again with their alliance. So that we pretty much concluded that there would be a team moving over, and now we know that Ryan Sieg Racing is going to be moving. I think this is a fantastic opportunity, and congratulations to RSS Racing as they are going to be moving over to Ford in 2021. A very awesome move for the team to work with Ford Performance in 2021. And now we're going to go on to the final major story of this episode. Adam Stern has reported that this morning that NASCAR is looking into permanently sliding number decals back to maximize sponsorship exposure, a move that draws ire from fans when tested during last year's All-Star race, but offers more creative and consistency for sponsors. I talked about this about 3 weeks ago when this basically was reported first by Adam Stern, and NASCAR is looking at moving the number placements back. They tested this with the All-Star race, and a lot of fans did not like this move at the All-Star race. It's one move that most fans, including myself, did not want change, and I still don't want this to be a thing that they change for 2022. Now, this would not come in effect for 2021. This would come in effect for the next-gen car going into 2022. I think that this is a bad idea for sponsorship. It's basically telling us that teams and sponsors are getting very, very lazy. You can no longer just place your sponsor on a car and expect to get a return on investment. You have to be creative and let the drivers have creative value in helping those sponsors grow. Look at what Denny Hamlin's been doing with Domino's. Look what Bubba Wallace did with DoorDash. And look at Busch Beer this past year. Busch Beer, when they tested out their Candy Apple Red sponsorship, they actually had 10.1% increase in their profit this year in 2020 compared to 2019. And their Candy Apple had a 17.7% increase in sales off of Kevin Harvick alone being sponsored. And Busch, while not all the schemes they had this year were great, increased their sales overall. Drivers have to get active with their sponsors. You can't just place a logo on a race car and expect money to come in sponsors. You have to think about this too. If it was this, then why are sponsors continuing to leave? On top of that, you have to think about the tradition of the sport. This is something that has been around since the beginning of NASCAR. It's one of the only traditional things that are around because a lot of traditional things they had at the beginning are gone. NASCAR is based off of numbers. If you did this in IndyCar, you did this in IMSA, you did this in NHRA or F1, fans would not really care because they're not drawn by the sponsor numbers. They're driven by the drivers. When you think of numbers in NASCAR, the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 3 of Dale Earnhardt, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, that's one of the reasons why they think about those numbers, right? And I just think it's a very, very bad idea to move the number placement back on the race cars. On top of that, like I said, I think sponsorship sponsors are getting really, really lazy when it comes to this. I think that most fans are going to hate it. I think that if they do this, fans are going to get very, very mad. And I don't think this is going to help sponsors at all. Think about all the sponsors leave. I mean, just this past year, Pepsi and Mountain Dew, they're gone out of the sport. Geico's no longer sponsoring any cars. Yes, they're still sponsoring, major sponsor NASCAR, but they're no longer sponsoring because they're not getting a major return on investment with Ty Dillon because they can't go to the racetrack. Drivers need to be a sponsorship boost. Drivers need to be working with these sponsors. And I think it's just overall, I don't think that this is going to help the sport overall. I understand why NASCAR's thinking. They think, oh, placing number up more to create more room for sponsors is going to get a bigger return on investment. But I totally disagree. I think that it's a bad, bad move. And if they do this, fans are going to get very, very frustrated, including myself. I'm very frustrated by the thought of them doing this. I don't think you need to move the number placement back. We've had this traditionally for 60 or 70 years. Why fix something that isn't broken? How about you fix something that is broken? For instance, your racing product with your 550 horsepower package where you can't pass worth a damn and it's impossible to pass. You can keep the 750 horsepower package. That's perfectly fine. But the 550 horsepower package. How about you fix your playoff system? Why not go ahead and fix that? That's something that needs to be fixed. This is one thing that isn't fixed. You know that saying that says, why fix something that isn't broken? This is something that is not broken, and you don't need to fix it. If you fix this, fans are going to get mad. Majority of fans pretty much hate this move or irk at this move because they think it's a stupid, stupid move. And I do think that they do not need to change the number placements on these race cars. That is just my personal opinion on that. So, anyway, that is me for today's NASCAR news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, notifications so you get me notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links description below for that. And support me on Patreon as well. Links description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. What are your thoughts about NASCAR possibly considering moving the number placements back for the next-gen car? Do you think it's a bad move overall, or do you actually really like this move? Or do you think NASCAR should maybe make it optional? Let me know in the comments below. And what are your thoughts about Ryan Sieg's organization, RSS Racing, moving to Ford in 2021? How well do you think this team will perform with the Ford upgrades in 2021? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like it so YouTube can recommend more of these great videos out to you guys. If you do that, I would truly and greatly appreciate it. Anyway, guys, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.